In this video, I think it's about time we talked about the current situation at Chelsea Football Club.
Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, and winning is our aim. So cheer us on through the sun and rain, 'cause Chelsea is our name.
It's a pretty big understatement to say that Chelsea haven't quite hit the same level of last season. You remember, last season, we're in Antonio Conte's first season with the Blues. They were the runaway title winners, doing it in convincing and seemingly comfortable style. Well, this season, the current squad looks unrecognisable to the one that earned them their 6th Premier League title, and in being unrecognisable in a negative sense, it has seen the club experience an inconsistent and unconvincing season, in which not only is the club's top 4 status in serious jeopardy, but also Conte's reign as Blues manager is also under threat. So let's analyse where things began to turn sour. Well, a sign of things to come came right at the end of last season. Chelsea seemed to be favourites to complete the double after wrapping up the Premier League title. They were one game away from winning the FA Cup too. Standing in their way were fierce rivals Arsenal, and after 90 minutes, Chelsea were left down to 10 men and with a runners-up medal after Aaron Ramsey scored the winner in a 2-1 victory for the Gunners. This may not seem a major part to Chelsea's funny turn, but I felt it was definitely something that needed to be said, considering this was a big hit in an otherwise near-perfect season and beginning for Antonio Conte. And this was just the beginning. Over the summer, Antonio Conte made a very strange decision in deciding that Diego Costa, their star striker, was not a part of his long-term plans at Chelsea anymore. I say strange decision because this is a guy who was a major factor in Chelsea's title-winning campaign. A world-class striker who scores goals for fun and is a defender's worst nightmare. And randomly you turn around and decide that a striker of his quality, his star power, doesn't feature in your long-term plans? Seemed a very strange decision in general. What followed was the quest to search for his replacement. Following a frustrating transfer window in which Chelsea were missing out on many of their top targets, one missed target that hit them hard was Romelu Lukaku. The then Everton striker was looking certain to return to Stamford Bridge until Jose Mourinho and Manchester United hijacked the deal, meaning Chelsea had to switch targets, and they landed on Alvaro Morata. Morata was a big money signing, but whilst he's only shown flashes of what he can do, he hasn't exactly lit the Premier League alight and is very inconsistent with his performances, something his fellow countryman Costa had no problem accomplishing when he made the jump from La Liga to the Premier League. The striker situation, along with the recruitment of Timo Bakayoko, Antonio Rudiger and Danny Drinkwater, players who you wouldn't put in the bracket of being world-class talent, but are very useful players, haven't exactly recreated the form they'd previously shown at their former clubs. And that, along with a drop in form of key players such as David Luiz, Thibaut Courtois and N'Golo Kante, have all contributed to a very average and mixed season for the Blues so far. Moving on to the performances on the pitch, Chelsea kicked off their title defenders with a 3-2 loss to Burnley, where at one point they were 3-0 down, but then went on an 8-game undefeated streak, which included victories over the likes of Tottenham, Stoke, and even Champions League victories over Qarabag and Atletico Madrid. Back-to-back losses to both Manchester City and Crystal Palace soon followed, which conveniently was Palace's first victory of the season. A 3-0 loss to Roma, a 1-0 victory over United, a 1-0 loss to West Ham, a comfortable 5-0 win over Stoke, 3 goalless draws back-to-back, a Carabao Cup semi-final defeat to Arsenal, and further back-to-back losses, this time to Bournemouth and most recently Watford, which were both resounding scorelines, have been the standout scorelines and performances that have displayed Chelsea's yo-yoing form. A type of form that's very inconsistent and something we didn't see much of throughout the entirety of the previous season. And finally, the winter transfer window was extremely weird for Chelsea, but pretty funny for everyone that wasn't a Blues fan. Pretty much any striker that was over 6'2" was linked with a move to Stamford Bridge. It began with Peter Crouch, developed into Andy Carroll, and before long, Ashley Barnes was also reportedly a target for the Blues. So basically, you fall out with your star striker, you sell him and attempt to replace him with someone who's nowhere near his quality, or someone who's very close to retiring. Very strange. Whilst Crouch, Carroll and Barnes did not move to Stamford Bridge, one striker that did came in the form of Olivier Giroud. Yes, that Olivier Giroud. The one who used to play for Arsenal? Yeah, that one. But like most transfers, it follows some sort of domino effect that began and ended at the Emirates. Arsenal signed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund replaced Aubameyang with Chelsea's Michy Batshuayi on loan to the end of the season, and Chelsea replaced Batshuayi with Giroud. On paper, it seems Arsenal got the better deal and they have their fierce rivals Chelsea to thank. Chelsea's recruitment scheme seemed very strange throughout the winter, and it sort of goes hand in hand with the way that they had a frustrating time in the summer. And because of that, got me thinking that there might be something that's wrong behind the scenes at the club. For a club that's basically just won the Premier League and is in Champions League football, the types of players that they were reportedly after seemed of a standard that wasn't Chelsea-like. Overall, I believe that there is something big that's happening at Chelsea behind the scenes that we aren't fully aware of yet. The transfer recruitment scheme seems very strange for a club like Chelsea. The passion and excitement that made Antonio Conte a huge hit within the Premier League seems to be fading and is instead being replaced by a guy who's seemingly very unhappy with the way his club is being run right now. And the team performances as a unit and a lot of individual performances too aren't up to the standard we normally associate with Chelsea Football Club. FA Cup still seems a realistic possibility over the Champions League if they want any chance of winning any silverware this season, but with their inconsistency, it's difficult to think that they will go one step further than they did last season and bring the trophy back to the bridge. And from a league point of view, they are in danger of missing out on a top 4 spot this season. As for the future of Antonio Conte, he's a real gem of a manager whose players are not turning up for him right now, especially in recent games. He's been reportedly frustrated over not getting the players that he wanted during the summer, but is reportedly okay with the transfer recruitment side of the club. It's hard to tell if that's the truth, to be honest, but with every poor result that Chelsea get, he's nearing the axe, because this is just the way football is these days. Managers can be almost perfect during one season, and then a few bad results the next season can put you on the verge of getting the sack. But if he is as unhappy at the club as he seems, maybe he could walk of his own accord, and Chelsea will have to go in search of a new manager. If you're looking for just one man's opinion, I think he will either walk before the end of the season should Chelsea exit both the FA Cup and Champions League, or he will get the sack at the end of the season should Chelsea go trophyless and also slip out of the top 4. What do you think of Chelsea's current form? Do you believe there's something happening behind the scenes at the club we don't fully know about yet? What do you think about Conte's future? I'd like to hear your opinions in the comment section below. Guys, thanks for watching and listening. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed this video, and also subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you again very soon.
Chelsea